And in the final moments of the great curdling, the limoncello serpent hissed, "You are an abomination of flavor." To which the Bombardino Crocodilo gurgled, "I am an acquired taste." The Bartender's Almanac, verse 3, chapter 11. For centuries, that one cryptic passage has baffled historians and mixologists. It speaks of a battle that nearly tore the very concept of happy hour apart, a nonsensical war between impossible beings that threatened to unravel reality itself. But to understand how it all ended, we have to go back to where it all began. Now, when you hear that name, you might immediately think of those fleeting, chaotic pictograms from the early digital age, the surreal AI-generated memes of 2025. A phenomenon scholars have dubbed Italian brain rot. Those short hallucinatory clips, usually featuring a crocodile's head on a bomber plane, became a weird footnote in internet history. But this story isn't about that. The meme, as some argue, is just a faint, distorted echo of the truth. It's a fragmented memory of a legend that's far older, far stranger, and far more delicious. This is the true story. The epic legend of Bombardino Crocodilo. Our story starts not on a social media feed, but high in the Italian Alps, in the shadow of the Matterhorn. Here, beneath the floorboards of a quiet fromagerie, a mad scientist named Dr. Alistair Fondue ran an illegal distillery. Dr. Fondue wasn't interested in crafting fine wines. His obsession was with weaponized potability. He wanted to create drinks that could alter the very environment around the drinker. His masterpiece was a volatile, custard-like egg liqueur. Now, the official story is that the popular winter drink called Bombardino was created around 1972 at a ski resort and got its name for the bomb-like warmth it provided. That's a nice, safe story. Dr. Fondue's version earned the name for a much more literal reason. It was dangerously unstable, prone to explosive chain reactions. According to his recovered notes, the Fondue folios he was trying to stabilize the mixture using, for reasons that remain tragically unclear, reptilian DNA. His main test subject was his loyal, if lazy, pet crocodile, Bartholomew. The doctor figured the croc's famously tough immune system could somehow pacify the explosive liqueur one stormy night. As Fondue was siphoning a fresh, glowing batch of Proto-Bombardino, lightning struck the fromagerie's weather vane. The charge shot down through the distillery's copper piping and into the vat, right at the moment Bartholomew peeked over the edge. The result wasn't an explosion of fire, but of pure culinary alchemy. It didn't burn the lab, it emulsified it. When the yellow, steaming haze cleared, Dr. Fondue was gone. But in the middle of the blast zone stood a new being, dripping with viscous alcoholic glory. It had the scaly hide and powerful jaws of Bartholomew, but it walked on two legs, its body pulsing with the volatile, creamy energy of the liqueur, forged in the fiery vats of a mad scientist's illegal distillery. Bombardino Crocodilo was born a creature of chaos, half crocodile and half explosive gigaka. This creature was a walking paradox, a predator driven by the nonsensical physics of its own body. It didn't hunt for flesh, but for, well, nobody's quite sure. In its first recorded act of chaos, it descended on a nearby village. The villagers, terrified of the monster, locked their doors, but Bombardino Crocodilo didn't break them down. Instead, he plunged his claws into the town's main fountain and, with a low gurgle, turned the entire water supply into lukewarm, slightly alcoholic custard. His rampages were a kind of culinary terrorism. Ancient cheeses were spontaneously aged into dust. Vineyards were turned to vinegar overnight. He was once seen absorbing an entire bakery, only to exhale a fine mist of cinnamon that rained down for 3 days. He was an insult to the natural order of flavors. But such a potent, creamy force couldn't go unanswered. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. In the world of flavor, the opposite of warm, sweet, explosive custard is the sharp, acidic bite of citrus. From the sun-drenched Amalfi Coast, an ancient power began to stir, the limoncello serpent. And these weren't just snakes. According to the apocryphal text, the Codex Granita *, the serpent were born from a cursed lemon grove where a forgotten god, Espitatias, had soured the earth. Each one was a living distillation of pure, biting limoncello with venom that was a potent, 120-proof acid. They saw themselves as the guardians of flavor purity, the eternal enemies of anything creamy or rich. The rise of Bombardino Crocodilo was a declaration of war. Their conflict wasn't over land or power. It was an ancient, flavor-based blood feud, and the world was their tasting menu. The war of flavors was a conflict unlike any other. Legions of limoncello serpents slithered north, turning rivers sour as they passed. Their advance is supposedly chronicled on the famous, and almost certainly fictional, Curdled Tapestry of Turin, which shows yellow serpents of light clashing with a hulking beige-colored beast. The battles were absurd. At the siege of Gorgonzola, the serpent tried to curdle the city's cheese reserves, only for Bombardino Crocodilo to arrive and, by emitting a low hum, pasteurize the entire attacking army into a harmless, zesty vinaigrette. During another fight over a field of tiramisu ingredients, the crocodilo detonated a small piece of his arm, blanketing the area in a fine, explosive cocoa powder that made the serpent sneeze for weeks. It's worth noting that this entire conflict is of course pure fiction, with no basis in any historical record. The war reached its horrifying climax in Rome. Here, the final battle, the Great Curdling, took place. The limoncello serpent, in a desperate last move, merged their collective essence to create their leader, a colossal 100-foot-long king serpent made of pure, undiluted lemon spirit. It coiled around the Colosseum, its acidic presence making the ancient stones fizz and dissolve. Bombardino Crocodilo met the challenge, striding into the arena, the ground squelching with each creamy step. This is where the fabled lines were spoken. The Serpent King hissed that he was an abomination. The Crocodilo just gurgled his reply, "I am, an acquired taste." Then, he started to glow, building his chaotic energy for one final, cataclysmic detonation. The Serpent King struck, trying to inject its sour venom into the Crocodilo's core. But it was a fatal mistake. The potent limoncello acid didn't act as a poison. It was the final, stabilizing ingredient Dr. Fondue had always been looking for. For one silent moment, reality held its breath. Then came the Great Curdling. It wasn't an explosion, but an implosion of flavor. The two opposing forces' creamy warmth and acidic cold collided and folded in on themselves. The sky over Rome reportedly turned into a thick layer of meringue. The Tiber River briefly emulsified into a perfect, shimmering zabaglione when it was over. Both Bombardino Crocodilo and the limoncello serpent were gone. They hadn't defeated each other. They had cancelled each other out, vanishing from existence. The world snapped back to normal, leaving behind only confused citizens and the phantom scent of lemon and eggnog. The legend faded, remembered only in cryptic passages. The true historical records, of course, show something a bit more mundane. The invention of a popular winter drink at an Italian ski resort in the 1970s and, much later, a bizarre internet meme. But those who study the absurd know better. So, the next time you see a strange AI-generated image of a crocodile-plane hybrid, maybe you'll see it differently. Don't just see it as digital nonsense. See it as the faintest echo of a war waged just beneath the surface of our reality. A war of flavors, of chaos, and of one very confusing creature. Remember the creamy, chaotic fury of the one true Bombardino Crocodilo. If you want to uncover more absurd legends lost to history, subscribe to this channel for more investigations. And be sure to hit the bell icon, lest the lingering spirit of the limoncello serpent sour your recommended feed for all eternity.